Ah, whoa, ah, oh.
What would you be willing to leave behind if God called you to something greater? Welcome back to Come Listen With Me. I'm Ricky Black, aka Elder Eleazar, and this is our daily reading for Monday, February 16th of our ongoing 2026 Come Follow Me study of the Old Testament. Before we start, let's begin with a brief prayer. Father in heaven, we are grateful for this new week and the opportunity to learn from thy word as we study Abraham's call to leave everything familiar and follow thee. Help us to recognize when thou art calling us to greater faith and obedience. Give us courage to step into the unknown when thou leadst the way. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. Got a bit to read, a lot to ponder, and a little bit to discuss. So let's jump right in. Reading for today is Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 9, and then we'll read Abraham 1 through 19 as well. And everything we're going to be focusing on here, it's about, God's call. It begins with separation, right? Leave your land, leave your kin, and your inherited identity for a promise you can't even see yet. It's Abraham's story. It frames covenant as sort of rescue with a purpose. And God pulls him out of an idolatrous world, right? Abraham emphasizes threat, deliverance, and priesthood blessings. And it redirects all of his life towards, blessing the, all the families of the earth. So this is where it begins with Father Abraham. And of course, we want to read with intention. So a couple of questions to keep in mind to kind of draw us actively into the reading. What did Abram have to leave behind to follow God's call? And what does this teach about discipleship and faith? And also, how does Abraham's account of his early life, Abraham1, add context to his willingness to follow God's command in Genesis 12? So, a couple things to ponder as we read through today. First book of Moses, called Genesis chapter 12. Abram will become a great nation. He and his seed will bless all the families of the earth. He travels from Haran to the land of Canaan. Because of famine, he goes down into Egypt. Abram and Sarai are tested in Pharaoh's court. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh. And the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, Unto thy seed I will give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still towards the south. The Book of Abraham, translated from Papyrus by Joseph Smith. Translation of some ancient records that have fallen into our hands from the catacombs of Egypt. The writings of Abraham while he was in Egypt, called the Book of Abraham, written by his own hand upon papyrus. Chapter 1. Abraham seeks the blessings of the patriarchal order. He is persecuted by false priests in Chaldea. Jehovah saves him. The origins and government of Egypt are reviewed. In the land of the Chaldeans, at the residence of my fathers, I, Abraham, saw that it was needful for me to obtain another place of residence. And finding there was greater happiness and peace in the rest for me, I sought for the blessings of the fathers, and the right whereunto I should be ordained to administer the same. Having been myself a follower of righteousness, desiring also to be one who possessed great knowledge, and to be a greater follower of righteousness, and to possess a greater knowledge, and to be a father of many nations, a prince of peace, and desiring to receive instructions, and to keep the commandments of God. I became a rightful heir, a high priest, holding the right belongings to the fathers. It was conferred upon me from the fathers. It came down from the fathers, from the beginning of time, yea, even from the beginning, or before the foundation of the earth, down to the present time, even the right of the firstborn, or the first man, who is Adam, or first father, through the fathers unto me. I sought for mine appointment unto the priesthood, according to the appointment of God unto the fathers concerning the seed. My fathers, having turned from their righteousness and from the holy commandments which the Lord their God had given unto them, unto the worshipping of gods of the heathens, utterly refused to hearken to my voice. For their hearts were set to do evil, and were wholly turned to the God of Elkanah, and the God of Libnah, and the God of Mamakaran, and the God of Karash, and the God of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Therefore they turned their hearts to the sacrifice of the heathen, in offering up their children unto these dumb idols, and hearkened not unto my voice, but endeavored to take away my life by the hand of the priest of Elkanah. The priest of Elkanah was also the priest of Pharaoh. Now at this time it was the custom of the priest of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to offer up upon the altar which was built in the land of Chaldea, for the offerings unto these strange gods, men, women, and children. And it came to pass that the priest made an offering unto the god of Pharaoh, and also unto the god of Shagriel, even after the manner of the Egyptians. Now the god of Shagriel was the sun. Even the thank offering of a child did the priest of Pharaoh offer upon the altar which stood by the hill called Potiphar's hill, at the head of the plain of Olishem. Now the priest had offered upon this altar 3 virgins at one time, who were the daughters of Onitah, one of the royal descendant directly from the loins of Ham. These virgins were offered up because of their virtue. They would not bow down to worship gods of wood or of stone. Therefore they were killed upon this altar, and it was done after the manner of the Egyptians. And it came to pass that the priests laid violence upon me, that they might slay me also, as they did those virgins upon this altar. And that you may have a knowledge of this altar, I will refer you to the representation at the commencement of this record. It was made after the form of a bedstand, such as was had among the Chaldeans, and it stood before the gods of Elkanah, Libnah, Mamakaran, Korash, and also a god like unto that of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. That you may have an understanding of these gods, I had given you the fashion of them in the figures at the beginning, which manner is figures is called by the Chaldeans Ralinos, which signifies hieroglyphics. And as they lifted up their hands unto me, that they might offer me up and take away my life, behold, I lifted up my voice unto the Lord my God, and the Lord hearkened and heard. And he filled me with the vision of the Almighty, and the angel of his presence stood by me, and immediately unloosed my bands. And this voice was unto me, Abraham, Abraham, behold, my name is Jehovah, and I have heard thee, and have come down to deliver thee, and to take thee away from thy father's house, from all thy kinsfolk, into a strange land which thou knowest not of. And this because they have turned their hearts away from me, to worship the God of Elkanah, and the God of Libnah, and the God of Mamakaran, and the God of Karash, and the God of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Therefore I have come down to visit them, and to destroy him who hath lifted up his hand against thee, Abraham my son, to take away thy life. And behold, I will lead thee by my hand, and I will take thee to put upon thee my name, even the priesthood of thy father, and my power shall be over thee. And it was with Noah, so shall it be with thee. But through thy ministry my name shall be known in the earth forever, for I am thy God. And that's all for today. That's our introduction into this week's reading and our sort of first steps here with Father Abraham. So I know I'm really excited about this week because we've kind of gotten out of, the literal world building as it may be, and we're getting into the sort of first steps where we see modern, Judaism, the faith of the Israelites being formed up under Abraham, and solidifying, what has led to what we call the Abrahamic faith. So, really interesting kind of start to all this and what's happening here. I got a lot of thoughts about this. Of course, I'll be doing some videos about it, but I want to know what you think. So drop a comment. Let's keep this going on in the conversation. Help some others kind of get some insight that you may have that they may not. And other than that, I'll see you again here tomorrow for tomorrow's reading. And as always, thank you for your time and taking just a precious moment to come listen with me.
When the night says wait, when the famine comes, you are the promise beating like a drum. From Abram to Abraham, I carry your word to be a greater follower of righteousness on earth. I will go, and in going I become, lead and become. Famine in the land and we headed it down. Mistakes in Egypt, learn to trust your crown.